I've had the privilege of covering the wonderful game of rugby union as a broadcaster for almost 20 years. I'm one of over 500 million fans that have made it one of the most popular sports in the world.
Arendse to his outside, Smith to beat, and Curtly Arendse has scored a stunner!
It's easy to see why. At its best, it is a spectacle filled with wondrous tries, crunching tackles, and nail-biting drama. But while it continues to grow in popularity, it remains one of the hardest to referee. The most important person on the rugby field is, without doubt, the referee, required to make hundreds of decisions in each game. If he gets it right, he's hardly mentioned. But should he get it wrong? He's mercilessly attacked on social media, leading to the kind of uproar sparked by 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝘀𝗶𝘆's latest Twitter outburst.
Rugby's laws are probably the most complicated in any sport. I mean, there's so many laws. At each breakdown, I can actually give a penalty every time, each way. That's what makes it difficult, and that's what makes the good referees good.
Former Springbok captain 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 knows the pressure modern referees face.
I think you can't get away with anything these days. I think in the past there was a lot of things that were missed, but it was missed both ways. Now with TMOs, they come in, they show things, and everything is under a microscope.
With so many laws to police, a television match official, or TMO, is supposed to provide an additional pair of eyes. But former Bok attack coach 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has concerns.
I've got a big problem, though, where I feel it happens with the slow motion. As soon as you freeze frame it down, it's a total different picture, like on a late tackle. If I see that happens late, that one prop in Australia, in Italy game, he was playing, coming around, and was in the wrong channel, and live, it was just sort of okay. But if you freeze frame it, it looked 10 times worse.
Cheap shot.
Just take this try-saving tackle on 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 by Australian winger Marika Koroibete.
Finds and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. What a tackle, what a tackle.
If no one had the luxury of slow motion, Koroibete's one, no problem. But as soon as I slowed it down, I almost went from penalty to yellow to, is this not a red?
A try saver of note.
Another example involved Bok flanker Pieter-Steph du Toit, who was inadvertently pushed by his own players into the face of French centre Jonathan Danty.
When I saw it, I knew it was going to be a red card, because with what the laws is at the moment, face-to-face, with impact, unfortunately, it's a red card.
You know, Pieter-Steph went in, great body position, from a coaching point of view, nothing wrong. And then the timing of 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏, and Damian Dalinde, as they hit him in, he couldn't stop himself. Now, I could see it on his face. I coached that guy. I know his passion. I know everything about him. There was no way in the world. He's not a foul or a dirty player. It's not in him.
While player safety is a priority for World Rugby, have the laws become too pedantic?
Yes, they want to keep the game safe, but I mean, we as rugby players, we make the decision to play this game. We know there's a risk of getting injured, getting maybe concussion, break a leg. That's part of the game.
Cross kick from 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Colby, and he's taken out in the air.
With the Boks down to 14 men, later in the game, Le Bleu captain Antoine Dupont would also be sent from the field, unfairly in Matfield's view.
I thought he looked at the ball, he was over the shoulder. It can never be a red card because he was watching the ball. He didn't even see. For me, the only time there should be a red card, if there's intent and you wanted to hurt someone, you come from the side, you punch someone, swinging arm straight to the neck or something like that, that should be a red card. I think where things has gone at this stage with red cards is just absolutely crazy.
Now compare this 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 tackle against the British and Irish Lions last year with the Dupont incident.
Oh no, that's contact in the air from 𝗀𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 on Conor Murray.
Colby would only see yellow compared with Dupont's red. So why the inconsistency? Freek Burger is a former international referee.
I think the main problem at this stage is too many laws. I can take you back into the 80s when I refereed without yellow card, without a red card, without being linked up with your judges. You were the sole judge of facts and law on the field, and you've got to produce. There's too many cooks at the moment, spoiling the broth.
You've got to simplify the game, for starters. We have to have fewer laws. Instead of 8 things to focus at a line-out, trim it down to focus on 2, 3 things, because it's very, very tough now.
And if lineouts are a technical nightmare, who among us has any idea about what's going on at scrum time?
If I show you my hand like this, and I ask you now, I know which side is going to collapse. Who's guilty?
Well, to me, it's a lottery.
I know it was my right hand, the hinging from that side, and I pancaked. So I should be nailed. But it happens so quickly. It happens instantly, and he's going to make a decision.
If you get someone in a box with a TMO that's a specialist in that front row, I think they'll make much better decisions at scrum time. Once that scrum goes down, he can have 2 views before they get up, and he can actually give a call through to the referee.
Remember, it's 30 versus 1. And this poor guy in the middle, he's got to impress 30 players for 80 minutes. And then after the match, he goes off the field, he's got the 2 coaches to face. So it's not an easy job.
Especially when a coach like 𝗀𝗃𝗃 uses social media to spotlight referee mistakes.
I don't think Russia is the only coach in the world that's got problems. I think all the coaches at the moment, if you take them and you ask them the same question, they all have their problems about the rugby state of emergency.
You've worked with him, you know him very well. He's an incredibly passionate coach. Why do you think he's opted to use particularly social media to get his message across?
I truly believe that a lot of his stuff comes from his heart. Everything for him is about the team and the hard stuff. And he really got involved so much with this fact that he wants to prove everyone wrong through social media. So if you ask me straight away, was Rassie right? No, he was wrong. Use the protocol, because you cannot, in my opinion, keep on going that route. And then he got warned, and yet he carried on.
Even though Erasmus was banned for 2 games, relationships are seemingly on the mend. Last Thursday, Rassie met with World Rugby for what has been described as positive discussions around recent events and match official communications in general. Ahead of next year's World Cup, rugby has never been more competitive, with games more often than not being decided by a single score. This makes the decisions made by a referee more crucial than ever before.
So that's a scrum for the All Blacks.
That's a ridiculous call from the referee.
We've seen in the women's final World Cup, for the first time, women's rugby, 50,000 people in the stadium, millions of people watching it. Again, 15 minutes into a game, a red card, and now you get 15 versus 14 for 60 minutes in a World Cup final. Don't want to see that.
World Rugby are making it much more technical. And the answer is they should simplify the whole thing much more. Get few laws, fewer things, and we might save our beautiful game.